topic today is understanding the psychological and biochemical effects of stress on health. So this is not one of the management therapies, but this is how the brain behaves is what I'm trying to say. The next one is, okay, fine. Some of you would have thought I don't like sweet. I don't need it. I don't feel anything. Like after seeing that sweet also, okay, my stress is still there. So they might like spicy food. Okay, so when I say spicy food, your brain starts to imagine what type of spicy foods you're comfortable with. That's why we say it as a comfort food. Immediately your brain goes thinking, and immediately you feel the taste which you would have eaten long before also. Just it will make you really happy. So the word itself is more than enough, but just if you see this, as soon as you see this, okay, now whoever is listening or not, or thinking something and listening to this webinar, that's secondary. The primary thing is, as soon as you see this, you forget some time, 1 second really what's happening. So your mind, your thought processing goes somewhere. Okay, so okay, I don't like chicken biryani. Okay, fine, let me go to mutton biryani. Okay, so you will have a different thought process. Okay, I don't like neither mutton nor chicken. Let me go to fish. Okay, so who likes fish? Okay, so that particular thought, that particular moment, your feelings, your thought process, everything is getting changed. So you should think, as soon as you see how your optic nerves are taking the images to your brain in a single fraction of second, it gets activated. This is how the stress hormones are released. Okay, so people who are non-vegetarian, they might like. People who are vegetarian, so they might not feel anything by seeing that. Okay, so some cauliflower Manchurian or some paneer tikka, or okay, fine, I don't like any food, I don't like all this. At least some fast food like pani puri or chaat masala. Now you see the whole thing, it's so colorful. So it can make, if a person really, like, he's a foodie and he's under stress, even if he's not a foodie, but he likes food, he loves food, okay, like he eats, unless even bulimia nervous also, this comes like it urges them to eat. They eat very well. Okay, they might end up with eating everything together, but their illness is different. They go and use some laxatives, or they just puke it, and they somehow make sure. That is a different scenario. But why I'm putting this slide is, it in a fraction of a second, our brain system could change immediately. The chemicals change immediately. We feel as if we wanted to eat. It's craving, the food craving. It has a very excellent relationship with the stress. Food craving and stress plays a major role. Okay, fine, dessert, spicy food, over. But think and see, I'm not suggesting, you should understand that I'm not suggesting person, whoever is under stress, how to take desserts and spicy food. No, because when they are going to eat this, it's going to affect their biological system. Spicy food and desserts, all, it's going to affect their biological system also, because of the high sugar content and high fat content. Okay, so bland diet. Okay, now you see salads, different, how much our colors everywhere, whatever I put, you might not like it, isn't it? So it's like it's called as bland diet actually. So however way I present this, whatever pictures you put, I don't think so the same feel you will get seeing spicy food, or who's craving for sugar. I don't think so the same brain processing or the thoughts would be the same here. But here, one thing I wanted to say is, taking a food that are rich in fruits and vegetables, you all know that they are rich in antioxidants, phytochemicals, it's going to soothe your mind. It's going to make sure that your autonomous nervous system is functioning well. It will turn off the stress response. The phytochemicals and the antioxidants that's present in the fruits and vegetables, though it doesn't appeal you more, is not going to give that food craving in you, but still the chemicals that's present in it, the antioxidants like enzymatic antioxidants, superoxide dismutase, catalase, GPX, non-enzymatic antioxidants, if you see glutathione, vitamin C, vitamin A, all this, actually it's going to really soothe our mind. It's going to turn off your stress response so that the person behaves normally, cool and comfort. Okay, but rather spicy food and the desserts, of course, for time being, temporarily can make a person happy, but further the high level of sugar, the high level of fat that is present in the spicy food and the desserts, it's going to trigger more the stress response. So it's not calming the person, it's going to trigger his brain much more, again turning on the stress response instead turning off the stress response. So I was telling you one part of the brain that you call it as a brain reward system. So here I wanted to show you here. So just before this, I have shown you the slide, isn't it? That desserts and all that spicy food. I told you one part of your brain gets activated. That's this part. Okay, you can see it's marked as nucleus accumbens. It's nothing but it's part of this mesolimbic dopaminergic system. This mesolimbic dopaminergic system, which has this nucleus accumbens, it's responsible for secreting dopamine, serotonin, and all that. So when this gets activated, so it starts releasing the it starts releasing the happy hormone. So that's why the person feels that he is very much comfortable with his comfort food, though it is high in sugar or it's high in fat. So the same thing I have written it here. So just I'll move on very fast, like the same whatever I have told you. So one dangerous thing here is whenever a person is under stress, because it's continuously getting activated, isn't it? So he is under chronic stress. So whenever he is under that particular event or whenever something is stressing him, it becomes progressively becomes a compulsive behavior for him or for her to eat that particular food whenever they are under stress. Or sometimes the person will be continuously eating and eating to overcome this negative thoughts and stress, because this particular part is activated and it's releasing some hormones that is making the person so happy. So he keeps on eating or she keeps on eating. So you know very well what would happen if a person keeps on eating. He might put on weight. Okay, so obesity is one of the challenges a person person should face if he is craving for food, that is especially because of stress. Okay, so several studies have examined the consumption of high fat, high sugar diets and the activity of the HPA. Activity of the HPA is going to activate this particular reward system. Okay, so when it's being reward system in the sense it's secreting some hormones that is making the person happy. So again it goes like a cycle. The next one is stress and the weak immune system. Already we have seen about this. So taking too much of alcohol because of stress, smoking. So it leads to a behavior. The person might behave differently as if they are not well for a long period of time. Everything would be okay, but they'll say headache, they'll be lying down, they'll not do any work. So that you call that as a sickness behavior. Okay, they behave as like a sick patient, but nothing would be the issue. So increased responsiveness to pain, depressed mood, all because of the disruption in the nervous system. Anorexia is, as we have seen, food craving. Anorexia is something they don't feel like eating, okay, because of the blood flow decreased blood flow in the GI tract. So that might lead to anorexia, improper digestion. So they might not feel to eat also. Next is insomnia. Insomnia and stress. This is actually I think each one of us might have been facing now. So it could be sleeplessness, sleep deprivation, irritability, depression, all. When we don't sleep properly, we end up with a condition called as insomnia. So I just wanted to show you that from morning till evening, they might be working, but as soon as they go to the bed, they actually start to think what to do list, like next day what can we do, next week what are the things to be done, or sometimes they'll think what has happened 2 weeks back. Everything will be happening. The brain starts to think actually because they are under stress, and they start to think all about this. And sometimes if you see 11 p.m. they go to bed, they will not get sleep. Again 2 a.m. they'll get up. Again they will see the time. Again they will get up at 4 a.m. Again they will see the time. Again 8 minutes before the alarm they'll start to sleep. This all, it's like the bizarre signals the brain is getting. Okay, the pattern has changed. The brain is not giving out proper chemicals. So the person's whole routine life will change. So this, I think, most of our life, it happens most of the times when we are under stress. And sometimes we forget what it's actually like to have a normal sleeping pattern. Like we used to say when I was young or something, I used to sleep nicely. Now I don't know why I'm not getting sleep. Environmental factors, work stress, and any disease condition or illness which triggers it all triggers the insomnia. So everyone is sleeping. These are all some psychological issues. And seeing mobile actually also, and using mobile. So these all could lead to insomnia. And stress play a very major role because the person is not sleeping properly. It stresses him more, thinking, why am I not sleeping? So that stresses him much more, which turn on the stress response. And again, it goes like a cycle. Anxiety, sleeplessness, stress, then again depression and all that. So sleeping is very good. Sleep is very important, because only when we sleep, during a very good sleep, what happens is the flow of cerebrospinal fluid in the brain, it increases, washing away the harmful waste products that build up between the brain cells when we are awake. When we are awake, we think so many things. We do so many things. Our brain thinks more. Metabolism is happening. Out of that, of course, byproducts are produced. Toxins are produced. They get accumulated in the brain cells. So when we sleep, what happens is CSF, that is cerebrospinal fluid, gets produced. It's produced and it washes away all the waste products from the brain cells. So the fluid was carrying away waste products that built up in the spaces between the brain cells. So one important waste product is beta amyloid. It's a waste toxic protein that's been produced in our brain actually when a person is under stress or thinking too much, doing something. So we do all sorts of work from morning till evening. We have different experiences and so many things we will come across. Everything is because of the brain, isn't it? So it does so many things. So one waste product out of that brain chemistry is beta amyloid, which is it's a toxic protein actually. It shouldn't get built up in our brain cells. It has to be removed actually speaking. So which is helping in washing out this beta amyloid is cerebrospinal fluid. So this washing out, all this happens only when a person sleeps, because the body is at rest. But if a person is not sleeping, under sleeplessness or under sleep deprivation, it's still working. So there's no time for this washing out process. So this toxic products gets accumulated in the brain that lead to serious psychological conditions, because it's really, it's not going to give a very good outcome. lack of sleep, it's a pattern like tiredness, difficulty coping with daily life, low self. It could be of anything. It's not like any stresses. Okay, it could be of any stresses that is affecting our sleep. It's going to affect the person much more. One thing is last, psychosomatic disorders. Psychosomatic disorders like it's like when physical symptoms, the person might feel there is a pain. Okay, that pain is not because of something has happened to his body. It is because of his psychological or his mental state. We call this as psychosomatic. That is, it leads to physical symptoms. Everywhere they will feel the pain, but no medical condition. Even if they go to doctor, okay, they do all the scans, everything they see, everything will be normal. The doctor itself would be very much confused, really, what has happened to you. Okay, so in that case, now recently, a few years back or something like that, they have come to they have coined a term for people who experience these type of things. That is, that's called as psychosomatic disorders. That is, people with this condition may have excessive thoughts, feelings, concerns. So, for example, they might be stressed, okay, and they might feel pain in their stomach because, of course, stress hormones is going to decrease the blood flow. They might feel something in their heaviness in their stomach. And what these people will do is they will think, oh my God, did I get any, am I having some gastritis issue? Or if it's going to prolong, they might think it's anything related to gastric cancer, something. They'll just think like everything negatively. And that is going to, again, it's going to aggravate because it's going to activate your HPA axis. It's going to affect your amygdala in your brain because this thoughts is going to send the signals there. So this disorder is called as psychosomatic disorder. So I just want to show you a clip out here. You can see, anyway, the zebra, anyway, it's not going to happen. The stripes are like, it's very much permanent, but they think as if the stripes are like, it's coming out. It's like it's excessive thought. That's what I wanted to say here. That's more concern what's happening to me. Nothing would have happened, but they feel that something has happened. Okay, so it can affect almost any part of the body. People with this disorder tend to seek medical attention, but they become frustrated actually, to be frank. They'll go to one doctor, he says nothing is an issue or something. Then again they will get the pain. They'll go to the next doctor and he will say do this scan. Okay, again no diagnosis. Then they are fed up with this allopathic doctor. Then they will try homeopathy. Nothing is going to work. Then again they will try Siddha. They will try Ayurveda. It goes like that actually. So it's something psychological. Okay, so depression can also contribute. That is a psychosomatic illness, and where all the pain, actually they feel the pain because their nervous system is affected, isn't it? It's getting disrupted. It's affecting their sensory nervous system, which is responsible even for the pain also. So it gets activated. Of course they feel pain, but we cannot diagnose it actually. So all the stomach pain, headache, chest pain, fatigueness, limb pain, back pain, difficulty in breathing, worrying about their health 24/7. It's not going to help, but still they worry about that. Okay, all these are some of the symptoms. And there's one thing called as psychogenic pain, the pain out of the psychosomatic illness. That is, the person might have got really some sickness or something. Because of thinking more and more, they are going to aggravate this pain. Okay, so this pain, they call it as psychogenic pain. Or sometimes there's no pain. Because of psychosomatic illness, they might feel there's a pain, that you call it as psychogenic pain. So this is something very much related to psychology, but it's affecting them. If you say, yes, there is a pain, of course there's a pain. We can't say it's your imagination or hallucination. No, there is a pain, but no medical diagnosis, because this is because of their psychological thoughts. So only thing is to treat this is behavioral therapy, cognition therapy, counseling, and yoga, exercise, which can calm their mind, soothe their brain, nervous system, central nervous system. So in turn, they can overcome this. Last one is brain and heart. So stress and heart diseases, they go hand in hand together. Something happen, immediately we feel, we just hold our chest, isn't it? Oh my God. So as if we feel something, losing a loved one or departing from a loved one, or something would have happened, immediately we feel as if our heart is broken. So like stress and heart diseases, they are very much linked. So 40 to 60% excess risk of heart diseases if a person is going to be under stress when compared to a normal person. So it might lead to atherosclerosis. So already I had told you what would happen when there is a high increased production of cortisol and epinephrine and norepinephrine. These hormones are going to in turn produce cytokines. Cytokines are going to get produced, in turn interleukins, in turn other inflammatory mediators, which is going to cause inflammation. So one such is atherosclerosis. So atherosclerosis process is characterized by the inflammation of your blood vessel cells of your heart, which will disrupt, or which will the thin layer of your blood vessels, the inner thin layer of the heart vessels, we call it as endothelium. So that gets ruptured because of this inflammation. And LDL, that is bad cholesterol, that is low density lipoprotein, it starts because the person, think and see, he is craving for more food, and of course he's going to build up bad cholesterol and TGL in his body, for example, I'm telling you, and it's going to, of course, it's going to affect his immune cells also in turn. Here, chronic stress, craving for more food, it's going to increase bad cholesterol, it's going to increase TGL, and also it's going to cause inflammation, it's going to affect the heart. So heart related diseases are very much common in people who are under the more stressful conditions. And it can also cause obesity, dyslipidemia, that is their LDL will be very, very high, their HDL will be very, very low. Sorry. So atherosclerosis, you can see here, this is a normal artery, this is a blocked artery, that is LDL and all these waste substances, everything that gets accumulated here, that is not allowing the blood to pass through. Okay, so this is because of the deposition of LDL, triglycerides, and also other deposits also, which might not allow the blood to pass through, which might end up with coagulation there. So the blood vessels might get blocked, leading to heart attack, that is myocardial infarction. So that's it. So this is the last. So what I want to say is, when I think I've taken so much of time. So the thing is that whoever is stressed, whatever might be the reason, like take a deep breath, let out all the stress, because we all deserve to be happy. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophia.
Thank you, Rati.
Okay, it was a very good presentation from your side. You have mentioned all the disorders which is related to psychological problems and which is related to stress. It was very wonderful. And first of all, I would like to thank you for accepting our invitation to talk in this topic. Thank you very much, Sophia.
Thank you, Rati, for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you, Sophia. Yes. So, is there any query? Participants, if you have any questions, you can clarify with ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, yes, sir.
Ma'am, this is Hari Krishnan. Ma'am, I have a doubt. Ma'am, is there any connection between canker sores or mouth ulcers with stress during exam time or some other?
Yes, when a person is under stress, actually, I told you it's going to affect his gastrointestinal tract, which in turn can increase the ulcers also, like increasing the acidity in his stomach, which might cause all these ulcers and everything. Plus, whatever, if a person is under stress, his nutrients, whatever he eats, is not going to get absorbed. So, nutritional deprivation also could be one of the reasons for mouth ulcers. Specifically, a person who is deficient in vitamin B's, like vitamin B complex, mouth ulcers are one of the common symptoms. So, in that case, mouth ulcers are very much common. Yes, there is a connection.
Thank you, ma'am.
I think, Sophia, you have given a wide explanation. There is no reason to ask any questions.
Okay.
You have explained more. You have in depth. You have gone. You have touched all the areas in biochemistry.
Thank you, Rati. But I have taken so much of time. I'm feeling bad for that.
No, that's not an issue. That is not an issue.
Okay, Rati. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Now there is no any queries, Sophia. So I request, where is Mitra? Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, you can deliver the vote of thanks.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I am indeed happy to propose vote of thanks on behalf of Budding Biochemist Association, Department of Biochemistry. First of all, I would like to thank our management and our principal, Dr. M. Ilangovan, for their support. Next, I would like to thank our today's guest, Dr. Sophia D., Assistant Professor, Department of Biochemistry, Jyoti Nivas, Autonomous College, Bengaluru, for giving a clear idea on topic understanding the psychological and biochemical effects of stress on health. Thank you, ma'am. Next, I would like to thank our head, Dr. K. Narayana Swami sir, our staff members and students for their continuous support. Next, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to our staff and students, participants from other institutions and our institution for their active participation. Once again, thank you all for making this day a grand success. Thank you.
Thank you, Mitra.